You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Guys, there's nothing like boxing, and there are no athletes like fighters.
Struggling to get to his feet. Incredible thing. It's unbelievable.
Takes another right. Or is in deep trouble again? Burns it down. Burns it down.
You know, you pay him a price, I guess, but the man said a bit of
What's up, fight fans? I'm J.Cotto. Welcome to J.Cotto's Fight Page. And today I'm going to be talking about a fighter in the heavyweight division in the 70s who had great work ethic. Alright? Come to find out that Vladimir Klitschko basically pulled out of the fight against Tyson Fury because of a calf injury. Okay, understood. But the gentleman I speak of, the fighter from the 70s, is he was considered a hard hitter and was feared. All right, so feared that very few gave him title shots. And it wasn't because he wasn't good. Because you know, if I'm not mistaken, you know, with a record of 43-7 with 31 knockouts and losses to great fighters. That's what they call being feared. All right. The gentleman I speak of is Mr. Lyle. Okay. At 23 years of age, he was only boxing professionally with only 9 bouts. Okay, and 7 KOs. He fought Jack the Giant O'Hara, and he just basically knocked him out with a straight right in the 4th round. And his trainer was Bobby Lewis, and Bobby Lewis at the time was between 42, 43 years old. He had trained 21 Golden Glove champions, professional boxers, and was chosen to be head coach of the United States Olympic team of 1972. Now, Lyle's style was basic but hard, okay? Moved when he had to, jabbed, and worked off the jab as well. He hit hard, okay? He hit hard. He was, you know, he had fought greats in the heavyweight division now. He had a great resume. Because this is exactly what I'm talking about, work ethic, you know. Working really hard, fighting hard. You know, Foreman, who Lyle had on the run in the first round, you know, they had a slugfest, and they both dropped each other almost equal amount of times. Okay, and by the 5th, George Foreman knocked out Lyle. Okay, now that's George Foreman. That's George Foreman. Okay, and that was the Ring Magazine's Fight of the Year. Okay, it was the Fight of the Year, 1976, and also fought for, you know, a strap. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the NABF, you know, and it was vacant, and George Foreman, of course, walked away with it. And he also fought the greatest ever, Muhammad Ali. And in this fight, Ali called him an ugly monster. You know, he also fought him a couple of rounds as if he was too scared to be touched by or to touch the monster. It was comical. It was hysterical. Classic too, man. Ali kept a great pace, you know, kept his distance just a bit, and and a great high guard and engaged afterwards. They both got hit. They both fought in pockets, and Lyle took it to Ali in that fight. Great fucking fight. On behalf of both gentlemen, they were both sharp punches that night, and Lyle was stopped by Ali in the 11th, and Lyle went on to having the greatest on his resume. Now, he was fighting Ali for the WBC, WBA, but of course, he lost. It's in 1980, okay? 1980 is when, you could say he was basically deteriorating, diminishing as a fighter, because he went on and fought Jerry Cooney, and he was coming off of a win. Jerry Cooney was coming off a win with Jimmy Young, and Jimmy Young was a fighter that, Lyle had fought twice and just couldn't overcome him, just couldn't outbox him, just couldn't do it. That was an obstacle for him, Of course, he lost to Cooney in the first round, and at the time, Cooney was looking good and was undefeated. Now, his record of 43-7 with 31 KOs is, it's great. Anybody who calls that a scrub just don't know what they're talking about. Ron Lyle, 7 losses were to great fighters. In '73, Jerry Quarry, who was 44-6, lost by unanimous decision. In '75, Jimmy Young, which was 13-4 at the time, he lost to Jimmy Young by unanimous decision. In '75 as well, he fought Ali. And Ali, who was 46-2, lost to Ali by technical knockout. Another great in '76 was George Foreman, and him and George Foreman made Fight of the Year for '76. And George Foreman at the time was 40-1, knocked him out. George Foreman he lost to George Foreman. In '76, once again, Jimmy Young. This time, Jimmy Young came around, was 19-5, and he beat him again by unanimous decision. He beat Lyle. In '79, he fought Lynn Ball. Lynn Ball was 10-4 at the time, and he lost by technical knockout, of course. And then in 1980, he basically fought Jerry Cooney, who was 23-0, and he got knocked out. He lost. His best KOs were against great fighters as well. At that time in that era, Vicente Rondon, Buster Mathis, Larry Middleton, and he went 19. He was 19-0 with 17 KOs. But ended up losing that little streak against Jerry Quarry. He fought for years, basically a decade, and never won any major titles within the divisions. He fought hard, for a decade, and he won national titles, basically. The North American Amateur Heavyweight Championship and the 1970 International Boxing League Championship. Lyle retired and tried to come back at the age of 50 and wanted a rematch against Foreman. But that never came to be, never came to be. It's a shame. Mr. Ron Lyle died November 26th, 2011, and in Denver, Colorado, of a stomach ailment complication. He fought hard, never winning any major titles, and that's because he was feared. He was a big puncher. Foreman gave Foreman a great, fight. I mean, Ali as well. Ali was the only one that put his 2 straps up against him, and that, you know, that goes to solidify everybody else's case who knows what they're talking about boxing when they say that Ali fought everybody that was hard, and Ron Lyle was hard. You know, he's a legend and a great, and he's put in work for the heavyweight division. You know, Ron Lyle is the epitome of the top contender. You know, you've got to respect Ron Lyle. Ron Lyle's the man. You know, to me, I think if there was such thing as a time machine and you put Ron Lyle in today's heavyweight division, he would have ate everybody the fuck up. Believe that. Okay, believe that shit. Don't be quick. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the casuals that are watching me, you know, don't be too quick to say, oh, you know what the fuck you talk about it, because Ron Lyle was no fucking joke. Okay. You know, Klitschko pulled out from what I hear, from, you know, a calf injury or something. Well, it is what it is. You know. Otherwise, in that fight, fans, just wanted to share that with you, just to show you exactly what I mean about work ethic, you know, and being considered a contender, and then becoming a champion, and then fighting hard like that and becoming great. Thanks for joining my fight page. God bless. Happy Friday, everybody. I'll be coming through with some more material, and catch my piece that I'm going to do on Michael Nunn as well. God bless.